Hello everyone and welcome back to Choose Your Own Galactic Adventure, a Choose Your Adventure style Let's Play of X3 Avalon Prelude. I've done quite a lot between episodes. Let me go over all of it. First off, I've been doing lots of missions. I'm up to around 57 million. And I bought some explorers to start exploring the galaxy. They're running around, and what type of ship are they? Show fighters, that. They are in these Kestrels.
A departure from conventional Teledy design, the Kestrel is now arguably the fastest production ship in the known universe. It may boast phenomenal acceleration, but it suffers poor maneuverability.
Ridiculously high speed, over 600. Very good for exploring. So they've been auto-exploring the area, and then they start setting up these satellites in sectors. And these satellites, in addition to giving me view of the sectors, also allow my automatic traders to check all the prices in the stations that the satellite can see. So it improves the efficiency of all the traders, as they can sell at the best price that they can see. They can just go there and do that. I hired 10 of them, and so far I do not think any have died. Let's see. Cayman, Kestrel, there we are. Yep, none of them have died, and they've deployed 215 satellites so far. So they've been rather busy. I've also gotten some Marines. I have 47 of them here. And that's what we're going to start working on today, is the various investment options. The winning vote is the distributed model. So we're going to start out with some Marines, as I need one of these TL class transports to carry stations around to build for myself. I could buy one, but they cost 20-ish million. It's a lot cheaper just to spend the 20 million on Marines and then use them to capture multiple transports, TLs. Let's see. No, not that. Let's look at our graph. This is where I bought the Marines, so they were rather expensive. You can see went that from about 22 million down to around 4 million. Quite expensive. I also bought a ship to transport them, and let's let Betty tell you about it.
The Geo-10 is an unusual ship, a luxury liner designed by a race with very little sense for aesthetics or luxury in general.
Wonderful little anecdote there. So this is the heaviest shielded TP class, 200 megajoules of shielding, and that is why I've chose it. It might have been better for certain circumstances to get the fastest one, but I chose this one instead, because we're going to be taking a bit of damage. It's also got a fair bit of armament, 4 main turrets, and then an additional 6 guns and 3 turrets around the ship, for a total of 10 guns. It can also use energy bolt chain guns, so its combined firepower is actually greater than my fighter, though it can't focus it all on one target. And to capture a ship, we're going to start off, as I said, with these TL class. They're the easiest overall to capture. Their armament is roughly slightly less than a Corvette class, but they're so much bigger they have a lot of blind spots. Let's see. Let's do an info on this.
The Argon Mammoth is a heavy transporter ship, usually found in Argon Federation territory. It is so large that it cannot dock at any space station. Instead, it is located loaded and unloaded by docking some distance from the station, its freight being ferried back and forth by fleets of smaller transporters.
Okay, we need to check to see what weapons loadouts this one has, and if it has any kind of guns that would make this really hard for us, or any kind of defenses that would make this exceedingly difficult, such as flak would be very bad, or incendiary bomb launchers would also be very bad, mass drivers would be very bad, any of those things. So let's get a little bit closer to them. And how we're going to do this is we have a freight scanner. Given that we have this L next to our Argon reputation, that means that we have a police license in Argon space. Right there, Argon law enforcement license. That means we can legally scan ships in Argon space. It's supposed to be to look for smuggled goods and stuff, but you can scan for whatever reason you want. And that will allow us to check its cargo without it being illegal or anybody attacking us. Let's get a little bit closer and see that they do have 2 ships on board that they own. They're only M5s, so that's not a big deal. Scan this. They do have a hull polarization device. So we're going to pass on this particular mammoth and go see if we can't find a good one. And once I find a good one, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I have found a ship here. It doesn't have any extra defenses. It does have 4 incendiary bomb launchers. You can see here the damage that they do. 8.1 thousand hull damage a second and 46.2 thousand shield damage a second with a little over 5 kilometer range. This might be a bit risky, but I think we're going to try it anyway and see if we can capture him. So what we need to do now is we're going to hire him.
Captain speaking. That'll be one time. We have a deal. We'll follow and charge for every gate we pass through.
And then we're going to send them off to a lawless pirate sector, off the beaten path somewhere.
You are talking to the captain speaking.
So,
you trying?
Why don't you come over here to Splitfire, and just way out here at the very edge of that, and we'll meet up with you. Now then, let's go see about our Marines. You'll notice, let's look at it in the screen. Notice that most of the Marines have at least 2 stars in fighting. The ones that don't are the ones that came with the Corvette that I got during the main plot. When you go to buy Marines, you want ones with at least 2-star fighting, because that's the hardest skill to train up. And it's not too difficult to get those. But I've done a little minimum training in the other skills, only up to 2 stars as well. Like I said, this is the easiest thing, and I'm going to lose a large number of them over time, so it's not good to spend a lot of money training them up until they gotten their fighting skill a bit higher. Now then, I want this to be somewhat of a mixed bag in terms of skill level. I want a few that are good at hacking, a few that are good at mechanical, and a few that are good at fighting. Then I want the rest to be basically cannon fodder. So I'm going to just train up the ones that I don't want with something cheap, and the ones that I do want, they're going to stay on the ship, and I'm going to bring the ship out to meet the mammoth that I just hired. I'm also going to take my Corvette and bring it there as well. So let me do all that, and we'll go meet the mammoth in Splitfire. Okay, we're here in the lawless sector.
Geo 10.
Got our transport our personnel transport, and our
Centaur.
Corvette. So what me and the Corvette are going to do is going to try to keep
Argon.
the shields down of this and keep their guns distracted, while the Geo-10 comes in and launches Marines at it so that they can get to the ship and get through the hull and into it and board it. Once the Marines are inside, then we can pull away and let the Marines do their job. But we have to be very careful because it has those 4 powerful weapons, and they can do a great deal of damage to any of our ships.
Incoming message.
And we want to be careful not to do too much damage to their ship.
Supply Mammoth.
Because we want it in good shape for our own uses, either to sell or to use ourselves. So here it goes. This is probably going to take a number of tries. It usually does when you're using the spacewalk method. So you may see differences as I reload the game. So here we go. I need to make sure that these guys have Argon set to foe, so they'll actually attack. And I want you to attack the shields of that guy.
Accept targeting shields.
And that's my job too.
Argon.
Let's go.
Supply Mammoth.
And Mott should get the Geo-10 ready. Probably not.
Argon. Supply Mammoth.
But here we go. Got a fighter drone already heading on.
Soy Farm. L. Argon. Supply Mammoth.
They turn aggressive very fast.
Target is now in firing range.
I hope they're shooting at something that can take the hits. Ouch. That was one of those. Okay, that's going to really do it. Okay, hull is down. And
Geo-10.
see, I think it's in the piracy. Board the ship. That one. Start boarding.
Accepted.
And now then we just got to keep this guy distracted a little bit longer. Switch to the shield killing weapons. But they have very short range.
Supply Mammoth.
And they have very accurate guns. I think I need to keep the shields down either
See how you like this.
5 or 10%. Below that, I'm not sure which. I think it's 10%. I hope it's 10%. 5 is going to be a little bit difficult under these circumstances. I might should use... We'll go. Go, go, go.
You have lost recognition.
Okay, the Marines are on the way. How fast is they moving? Okay, 33.
See how you like this.
I like it just fine. Hopefully they don't shoot my Marines. I'm keeping them fairly well distracted by shooting at me, which is something useful. They did just launch something. I hope that wasn't towards me. My Marines. Marines are getting there. Come on, come on. Shield damage. Keep going. Come on, you can do it. Come on, Marines. Problem is, the Marines are only so fast, and even as slow as this is, it's hard for them to catch up. But at least we're in one of its weak gun spots. We don't have to deal with their bigger guns right here. We just have to deal with this one gun. And they're trying to catch up. Looks like our Centaur is helping out quite a lot. It's doing a lot better than it normally does.
Almost there. Reach target ship.
Okay. shields are at 3.
Beginning to open hull. Halfway through the hull.
Keep going. Everyone get on board. More
Team,
people.
check your weapons. Prepare for us. Begin pressurization. Now.
See it.
Done.
We are approaching the target.
Yes, good. 2 more train.
We are approaching.
Closing on target.
Fine.
Okay, team, keep your eyes open.
You have lost recognition.
Good.
Check your fire.
You have lost recognition.
So more than one team on
Watch
now.
your angles, Marines.
Don't see anybody on that personnel. We have
Confirming
13
deck 1 neutralized.
Marines
Stay
on
alive,
board.
people.
So almost everyone got on board.
Reloading.
See how you like this.
Give me some covering fire.
And I think we can get out of here now, right?
Confirming deck 2 neutralized.
Deck 2's down.
Maintain position. Push on, Marines.
On its range.
Reloading.
Go. How are y'all doing, Marines?
Confirming deck 3 neutralized.
Lost one guy.
Touch lockdown.
Lost 3 guys, actually. Come on, keep fighting.
Reloading.
Lost another guy.
Reloading.
Come on, y'all can do it.
See how you like this.
Confirming deck 4 neutralized.
Good, deck 4's down.
Touch lockdown.
Another one down.
Watch your angles, Marines.
Oh, wow, still fighting.
Push
Man.
on, Marines.
Target
Difficult.
left firing range.
Confirming deck 5
Please.
neutralized. We're at the core. Locating
Good.
control panel.
Yes, core.
Taking down the safeties. Okay, got it.
You there?
Establishing connection to the core. System coming down.
Fine.
We have access.
Yes.
That's it. We've done it. Team, go check for other tangos.
All right.
Command accepted.
You. And where is our transport? We'll have you do collect astronauts.
Command
Astronauts.
accepted.
Pick up our guys that didn't quite make it. So how many did we lose? Let's see, you have
The Geo-Chen is an unusual ship.
0. Okay, we have 5 here
Mammoth.
and 11 on board. So we lost 4 in that attack. Probably the cannon fodder ones I had set. Yeah, that's what we mostly lost. No, that's what they were for anyway. It's a little difficult to actually get it. Did lose the good guns, so we didn't get those. And let's see, weapons. So it only has 2 guns left, but they're expensive ones. So now then, I need to
Centaur.
repair this, and
Mammoth.
then decide if I want to sell it or keep it. First, let's repair this. It's going to take a while, so I'll cut it here. Okay, I've almost got this repaired up as much as I want. I'm going to stop at 80%. My repair laser is really only designed to repair fighters, only repairs 150 hull a second, and this thing has 1.5 million hull, so It was at 55%. Getting it up this high has taken quite a while. If I didn't just say I have decided to keep it and use it for stuff, I've sent my Centaur to go get some shields for it, and I sent the Marines home to go continue training and building up. So now we have ourselves a $20 million ship, and you may be thinking that I could just keep doing this over and over and make a ton of money. But the problem with that is we lost quite a lot of reputation doing this. If we look at our pilot status, we've dropped down to the 6th rank from the 10th rank to this. But given that that's not actually linear in terms of amount
energy low
of reputation we've actually lost around 97% of our total reputation. So if we went and did this again, we would be well into the shoot on sight territory. We could do it once with each race, then work on building up our reputation. But that's probably not entirely practical. Getting one for now was kind of important, and it's made the Marines pay for themselves. Getting more is probably something that will wait until we get more stuff. There are pirate TLs, which are good for training up. The problem is that the pirate TL is a lot faster, and it's a lot harder to board using the spacewalk method. Actually, not technically pirates. There's the generic pirates like we have here, which are like ordinary thugs. And then down here, there's Yaki, which is the organized crime pirates. And they're on shipyard, they're on capital class ships and everything, and they're on specialized ships, whereas pirates use, the generic version of pirates tend to use weaker versions of other races' ships that they are, according to the lore, have bought off people. See right here, there's 2 of these transports.
As the Yaki seek to expand their sphere of influence,
but it's a lot faster.
So must their infrastructure increase. The Ryu is a key part of enabling
it also has
station
more weapons
building and heavy transport activities.
But
Mammoth.
It's not the type of ship that we would want to keep either. So what I'm going to do with this ship is I'm going to get some shields on it.
Attention,
and
energy low.
A few more things like a jump drive and such. Then we're going to take this up to Terran space and build some factories up there for our Terran economy stimulus package. Then once that's done, we'll come back and we'll start working on the investment options. We're going to start with the 1 megajoule shield part. First, let's do the Terran part. And another thing that's good about
Vanguard.
These ships,
Mammoth.
They have docking bays.
Mammoth.
So you can dock and then you're flying that ship. And if you just want to switch back, all you have to do is go land ships, switch back, and then you exit out. Very useful for getting around and everything. So I'm going to repair this, equip it, and I will see you in the Terran space. Okay, we've got our Mammoth docked at the moon. The shipyard at the moon, anyway. And we want to build a couple of factories for Earth, or for the Terrans. And how the tech tree works in this game is there is a basic food production factory that uses just energy cells and produces some kind of tier 1 food. Then there is a second tier that takes energy cells and the Tier 1
USC Food
food,
Supply Factory is where all of the ingredients
and
for the
it
Terran
produces
MRE are gathered,
Tier 2
processed
food.
and packaged into
Let
the
me turn that off.
nutritious ration packs.
Back to... Okay, where were we? So this takes the Tier 1 food, energy cells, produces Tier 2 food, and Tier 2 food is used to make pretty much everything else. So guns here use Tier 2 food and ore. So does this, and that, and that. Drones use silicon and ore. Silicon and Tier 2 food and energy cells. Missiles use ore. All missiles use ore. That's pretty much how that goes. All power plants that produce energy cells take crystals, and they're all solar powered, so they just take crystals, and crystals are made from Tier 2 food, silicon, and energy cells. So, with enough things you can create a completely closed loop. The limits are just ore and silicon. So wherever you can find asteroids to mine that, you can build yourself a factory. What we're going to do is we're going to look around.
Autopilot off.
Oops, come on. There. Somewhere around in here, there's a lot of asteroids here. None there. Lot in here. So we'll see, probably build a couple of factories here, just having them in the sector with some asteroids in case we want to expand it later. On the forums it says that you can build a fairly large complex and it will still produce money in this area. At least a large food complex here. So that might be something we do later in the game. For now I'm just going to build a water factory and a protein paste factory. Those are fairly cheap. We just need 856, about 57k for the water factory.
Purification plant. Bought.
And for the protein paste, another 811k. Then we'll need
paste blending facility. Bought.
A complex construction kit to connect those two together.
Complex construction kit. Bought.
And now then I can tell this to fly to Pluto.
Command accepted.
And that should get him over there eventually. So I'll be back when once he gets there. We are here at Pluto and we can finally build our stations. What I want to do is build this above the gate, about 60 kilometers. And a little bit in from it, because you get launched a little bit. Okay, we're here. Got our two stations here. You'll notice these look different than the AI factories, because trying to do it using the AI factory models, which they tried in the earlier version of this, caused the game to crash. So they stopped doing that, obviously. Aha, what is this? That looks like another quest. Another one of those quests that we were looking for. Excellent. We must have needed to build a station for it. Excellent. That'll come in handy.
Protein paste blending facility.
And
Alpha.
I need to find my mammoth. Where are you? Let's do it from the screen. The last step is our special command. This is the normal vanilla station building. So drop a station, complex construction kit, and we will say we want to connect this station, this station. And now then, where do we want it?
Command accepted.
Got it right. Okay. Make sure that this is the
Complex Hub Alpha.
thing. Okay, they're connected there. And it's facing downward more or less. Is this the one with the appropriate docking? I'm not sure. Is a mod version, and I think this is it, yeah. Has a hangar bay. I could find out by just trying to dock. And undock.
Successfully docked.
Yeah, okay. It has a hangar bay, so it's the right one. And now we have a station. Or two stations, actually. But they're connected together. And all I need to supply to this is energy for the
Complex Hub Alpha.
protein paste. And ice for the water. Ice and energy for the water. So I've got a ship heading this way. Are you in the system? Yes.
Demeter. Super Freighter XL. Docking
There.
granted. Command accepted.
I picked this ship up for one of those cheap deals like I picked up the Mamba Raider. It was about 10th the normal cost of this. So I just grabbed it and I've been training it up. It is now at... Let's see. Trade. Now at major dealer level. And I want to set its home base to the station. And start external community logic. Is that the right one? Let's call it. Okay, that's not the right one. I think I want this one. Okay, yes, this is what I want. This will help keep it supplied as well as sell its goods. And the other traders in the area are also going to help sell. So once it docks, I'll start that command after I offload those energy cells. And we should be good for this factory. We can start building the one in Oregon area for the Tech Tycoon option. Going to build that here because there are a number of good asteroids in this area. And in an earlier game I built in a game of this before they released the expansions. I built a station here that worked pretty well. So this is where I'm going to build it, partially for nostalgic reasons, partially because it's still a good sector. I'll build it somewhere out in this area. And I'm going to build it kind of in a backwards order, starting with the final product, and then the resources in a downward until you get to the very bottom. Because I can buy energy cells from here and here, and I can also buy the minerals from here. So I can run off the AI supplying me the raw materials until I get enough money to build those factories. I'm not actually going to build a closed loop here. If you look at the suns, you'll see 150%, and most places are like that. But down here you get 400%, so you can build a much more efficient solar power facility. But you'll need to, there's no asteroids in this sector, so you'll need to either ship in silicon or ship in crystals. I'm going to ship in crystals and ship out the energy, and that should allow me to build the factory for cheaper in the long run. It's a bit more expensive because I'll need some freighters to transport stuff back and forth. That's a bit of a risk. But as I build more and more factories, they can share that transport infrastructure, and it will end up being cheaper in the long run, I think. And partially because I just think I like that idea better, the idea of having a transportation network and a specialized sector for it. That's how we're going to set up this. And I'll probably do something, I won't show the entire building of that facility because it's going to take a while. I have to jump around to the various shipyards and get factories. My mammoth can only hold so many at a time, and it's going to take me a little bit to get all that set up. I don't even have enough money to get the whole thing built yet, but I will soon. So I'm going to start on that now.
Nearly there. Contact with target hull.
We are approaching.
Nearly there.
Closing on target. Computer system disabled. Access granted. We are in.
Ship computer control transferred. Albatross sold.
Okay, let's say I've got my tech factory built. It has 10 1 megajoule shield factories. Let's see. Alpha. They're not in order. Oh well. And all this stuff. I have the products here on the bottom, and then the tier 2 food, and then the tier 1 food above that, so that it kind of flows down. And I have them 5 deep because a L factory produces 2.5 times as much as a M factory, and all of the end products, the shield and anything else that's like that, shield, missiles, guns, are considered M factories. So an L factory will produce 2.5 times as much resources as that needs. And I have the pricing set up so that as this fills up, it drops the price down to 1 minus the average, 1 less than the average, which is at which point all the AI in the area will come to buy here, but only the first person that gets here gets it for that price. As soon as they buy that up, the price goes up, and that keeps happening. But since the AI are still coming, they're already coming here, they don't change their destination, so they end up buying it for the higher price. And that looks like, let's see, here, yeah, let's see, station profitability. So we have a bit of a flat line while it builds up its stock, and then all the AI come, and they continue to come and buying up products for the maximum price as fast as it can produce them, until all the ones that have set that as destination stops, and then there's another lull as it builds up. This allows me to squeeze a few more credits out of this. As far as infrastructure goes, I have a whole bunch of miners here that are running around breaking up these rocks into bite-sized pieces and then nomming them up. Then another ship, the ship comes around and collects all the ores and silicon from them and brings it back to the factory, which is a lot more efficient than having the individual ships move back and forth, because it only takes out one ship to do that. And for the energy, I have 2 of these freighters, and I actually had to employ my mammoth with its 60,000 cargo hold to keep up with the demand. It's here. I also had to build a complex hub with just one factory connected to it, because mammoths can't dock at the normal factory. They can only dock at complex hubs. But I'm using a modded complex hub so they can do that. The vanilla complex hub doesn't have enough docking space. There's only 10 docking ports for something that's that many stations. It's not near enough. You'll see once I build the Smuggler's Paradise factory just how many AI can start swarming a factory when you're producing a great deal of something. This is not too bad because the production cycle for each factory is 30 minutes. So there's only a few ships at a time. Next episode, we're going to work on some defenses for this area. Right now, I don't have anything protecting any of this. Not a very good idea, though I am pretty safe given that they have to come through or go in core sectors to get to me. There's the pirate sector right there, so they have to come up through here. Usually, anything that makes it through won't be much more than a fighter, but even a fighter can destroy all of this if you're out of the sector. I should mention that combat differs when you're in the sector, the player's in the sector, and when the player's out of the sector, it devolves into a sort of turn-based thing, a turn-based slugfest, basically, which would allow something to destroy something like this, which they couldn't do if the player was in sector. Also, next episode, I think I'm going to buy some more support ships for myself for fighting and stuff. Once we get the defenses here set up. Right now, this is producing quite a lot of money, to 23, almost 24 million. We're still relying a bit on the AI factories for some of the ores, so I need more miners here. Actually taking a lot more miners than I thought. I could build mines on some of these asteroids and do it that way, but they have a limit in production. And these miners, if they have a limit, it's a hell of a lot higher than a single mine would be. And what else was there? Oh yes, our Terran factory, on the other hand, is actually producing way more. It's paid for itself several times over. Let's see, what does your profitability look like? Yeah, I've been just transferring all the money into my account. It's pretty much, it cost us about 2 million, so back before this, and everything from here on has been profit. It's not making as much money in terms of actual amount as this, but in terms of return on investment, it's way beating this so far. But this should pay for itself in about 40 hours of game time. Once everything gets set up properly, it'll be making, I think, 2 to 3 million an hour, which is pretty good. It's just these little miners, I didn't quite have the math right on those. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not, and I'll see you next time.